everybody, and welcome to Where Are They Now in Sports. Today's guest is a former Major League Baseball player that played in the league for 7 years. And guess what? I watched him in the minor leagues too, live. Please welcome Joey Gathright in the house.
Hello, everybody.
What's going on, my man?
What's going on, brother?
Long time no see.
I know.
All right?
Been too long.
Last time I saw you when gas was like $1 a gallon.
Back in, that was a long time ago.
It was it 03, right?
Yeah.
With Alex Santos?
Not in California, though. When I moved to California in the minor leagues, it was $5.25.
Oh, okay. Right. Joe, you went to high school in Louisiana. Mm-hmm. Now, you actually jumped over a car. Literally, you ran and jumped over a car. Was there a bet going on? Like, what made you do this? How did that happen exactly?
That's how we're opening? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I want to know that part first.
We were sitting there after football practice. It was a 10th grade, and waiting on our parents. I had on old baggy pants and my Timberland boots. In New Orleans, I guess we liked Timberlands back in the day. So,
right.
I don't know, I was just bored and just looking at my coach's car, and I was like, you know what? I think I can jump this thing. And I just walked out. I didn't tell anybody what I was doing. I just did it. And then, ever since then, I just kept doing it. Teams didn't like it, but it was fun.
And did you do it while you were in the minor leagues too? You did. So, were the guys like, what? Were they impressed?
Yeah, everybody was impressed. They asked me to do it all the time. We had rookie development in Virginia, and it was like, I don't know, like 40 degrees maybe. And I know I wasn't supposed to do it there, but I did it once. And, all the guys couldn't believe it, but I got yelled at the next day because I wasn't supposed to be doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
On the contract rules, right? They didn't want you to get hurt.
Yeah, of course,
right,
of course.
Right. In your high school, you actually went with 2 stars too. You have a girl named Tamika Johnson that plays in WNBA, and there was also a UFC fighter that made it. Yeah.
Melvin Gillard.
And it's like you 3 guys, and that's about it, right?
Yeah. That's it. Melvin was on our O-line, if you believe it or not. It was a beast too, man.
Oh, wow.
He was fast. He was fast, small, and just ripped.
When you played high school baseball, did you hit bombs?
I hit my senior year. Most people don't know this, man. My junior year, I didn't play my senior year, but I hit 555, 7 home runs, and I don't know how many triples I had.
I could imagine there's a lot.
Yeah, but yeah.
The average speed in the major leagues, running at 60 yards, is what, 6'9" to 7'1"? Average speed in the big leagues?
Average is about 6'7".
6'7", average. What'd you run in the 60?
I ran a 6'1" I think.
That's faster than Ichiro.
Yeah, I mean, most people would say so.
I mean, 6'1", are you kidding me?
There are a lot of guys that were pretty fast, man. Essex Snead, a lot of people know about him, but he's with
the Cardinals? Was he with the Cardinals organization?
I think so. But
right.
he if there was somebody that I'd say back in my heyday that could beat me, it would be him.
I wonder what Ricky Henderson could run in the 60.
I don't know, but Ricky was 5'9", 195, just shredded. Right. So.
Yeah. But now I was talking to scouts. 6'3" to 6'6" is elite.
Yeah.
You ran a 6'1".
Yeah.
That's no joke.
Oh, good genes, I guess.
Oh man, I wonder. Where were you when you got drafted, and how much did you sign for?
I was in New Orleans. I didn't play my senior year because I got hurt playing football, and I signed for $23,000. And to me, when I saw that $23,000, I thought it was $1 million. I was a 19-year-old kid in high school. I was like, $23,000, I'm taking this. But the reason I took it is because when I went on my recruiting trips for football, I was way better at football. But when I went on those trips, they wanted me to be a slot receiver. And I'm not good with going across the middle and get hit by a linebacker.
Right.
So I just took the money, and that's what happened.
If you could turn back the clock right now, what would you do differently?
Not play football my senior year. And actually just see what would happen if I would have played my senior year, see what kind of numbers I would have put up. The money really didn't matter as much. I just wanted to see what numbers that how many more home runs I could hit, how many triples, how many more stolen bases, how higher of an average could I have gotten. Because as you get older, you become a better hitter. And I think going through the summer, I was becoming a way better hitter, getting ready for baseball.
And in college, what schools offered you scholarships?
For baseball?
For baseball, yeah.
None. None. It was all for football.
So who got you? LSU gave you an offer?
Yeah.
Who else?
For football?
Yeah.
It was all mostly Louisiana schools. In Louisiana, man, it's hard to be known nationally, I guess, unless you're like, I'm fast and I'm good. I was hard to tackle. That's why people wanted me. That's why they wanted to put me a receiver. But as far as 6'2", 230. I'm not a big guy, so you're not going to be known. Nobody's going to come after a 5'9", 165-pound, 18-year-old.
Right. 2001, that's when you got drafted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now check this stat out. 2001, first rounders. Guess how many out of the 30 picks in the major leagues, first rounders, how many did not make it to the major leagues, did not get an at-bat? Give me a guess.
I couldn't tell you. You give me an answer.
11.
Wow.
First rounders. So when you get drafted and you go out to the park in spring training or wherever, not spring training, but after June, right? That's when you guys get drafted. You see a guy signing bonus baby, right? You call him the trust. What do you call it? What's the nickname for those guys?
Bonus baby.
Bonus baby. He gets $1 million contract or $800,000 contract. You got a contract of $25,000. If he slumps, it's okay, son. We invested you. You slump. What happens to you?
I'm gone.
You're gone. You're released.
Yeah.
How do you fight that? But when you come in there, what psychologically, what do you have to tell yourself? Like, yeah, I got to beat this cat out.
Well, there was a kid. I was drafted as a second baseman. I was a shortstop in high school, but they drafted me as a second baseman. And there was this kid. I'll never forget the first practice that we had. Jim Hoff, my favorite instructor ever in Tampa. He's an older man, and there was a kid that had a Dominican kid signed for $900,000, skinny, but he could throw like 97 across the diamond. And I wasn't that good at infield. I was just good at stopping the ball. I didn't have fundamentals. They didn't teach that in New Orleans. So I guess he saw me at second base. He's like, you know what, Seth, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to go to the outfield. The first day of my minor league career, he told me that. And it was cool because I understood I wasn't as good as that guy. But he was awesome. But that guy couldn't hit the ball out of the infield and never made it, I don't even think, to Double-A. And another example, I don't mean to go against your
No, go ahead, go. Keep going.
There was a guy named Jeff Winchester in New Orleans. Everybody wanted him for baseball. He was a catcher. And nothing to say anything bad about him, but I stole a base off of him in high school. It was the biggest thing for me in the world because I knew he was getting drafted that year, so I was like excited. So 2 years after I was drafted, I ended up passing him in A-ball. And that's when I was like, because I didn't know the difference between minor leagues and the major leagues and high school and that. And just seeing him there and going past him, it was just like, okay, now I'm slowly starting to understand how everything works. So.
Right. And and the Rays, well, actually back then it was called Tampa Bay Devil Rays. They drafted 50 players that year, and I checked up on this stat. Out of those 50 players, you are ranked #1 former Major League Baseball player that played 454 games.
Wow.
The current guy right now, if he retires right now, will be Johnny Gomes. That's it.
That's my
Which
boy.
he's still playing, right? You remember Gomes back in the days, right? How funny was that character?
Yeah, we had some times.
Oh, yeah. How much were you getting paid in the minor leagues? How does it work? A month?
Back then?
Back then.
It was tough. I mean, A-ball, you might get, $500. It's not that much. And even when you got to AAA was, I think, around $1,200 to $1,500 a month. Did
you guys fly in AAA?
Yeah, some places, yeah.
But now in AA, A-ball, and below that, you have to take those buses.
You're bussing. It was the worst, man.
So you're telling me you got a contract for, what'd you say, $21,000?
$23,000.
$23,000. So you're gonna have to have a part-time job in the wintertime, right? While you're trying to make it to the big leagues?
Yeah, you can just play winter ball.
Oh, you get paid that way too?
Yeah, winter ball for a guy that, I guess of my stature, you can probably get about $6,000 a month, tax-free winter ball. So,
but the bonus babies, they don't have to work because it's like, they got $1 million in their bank account, signing bonus or whatever, 800,000 or whatever it is.
Yeah, you see those guys, like you just see the guys that sign for not that much trying to link up with those guys because pretty much you're broke in the minor leagues if you don't sign for a lot of money. And once I bought my truck and moved to California for A-ball, that $23,000 was gone, man.
In seconds.
Yeah.
Oh
so
my God.
I was living paycheck to paycheck, which was fine because in my mind I knew that I would make it to the major leagues soon.
But some guys, they do have part-time jobs, right?
Oh yeah, a lot of guys work. We had guys that usually work at places like any kind of sporting goods store where they can easily get a job.
What was an average bus ride in AA? Like, how many hours does it?
Average 7.
7 hours.
Average.
To get to a different city.
Average.
Oh
The
my
longest
God.
one was Orlando to West Tennessee, 16 hours.
16 hours? So if you go 0 for 4 that night and then they tell you you're getting demoted too, how much does that hurt you?
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Now, Joe, throughout your career, you've been going up and down, AAA. Is there self-doubt going on when they say, hey, Joey, if the skip says, yeah, I want to see Joey, and now you know you're like, oh, man, am I going down, right? Do you have thoughts like that?
Yeah, of course. Anytime you go into that office, well, before, like when you're younger, yeah.
Right.
You're always thinking about that stuff. But, yeah, the self-doubt for me, no. But for some people, probably, yeah. But I just I couldn't allow myself to feel that way. Because if you look at my numbers when I went up and down, I still hit 330 or 3 whatever in AAA, and I still do my thing in the major leagues too. So for me, it was more of I'm going to show you that I belong in the major leagues. So you're gonna find a way to get me up here somehow. So that was my goal. A lot of guys don't think that way. A lot of guys get upset and they just go down and struggle. And then if they get that call up again, they struggle there too. So you just got to be mentally strong, because people don't understand it's all mental when you get to the major leagues.
How much mental is it? Would you say 90% of mental?
Yeah. I mean, you're obviously talented enough to get to the major leagues. So, and I think a lot of guys forget that you have the talent. You're there. So just go play and have fun. Don't think about, man, if I don't catch this ball, they're going to send me down. If I don't steal this base, if I get tagged out, if this, if that. Leave that stuff out. Just go play baseball and have fun. And people forget to do that. And that's why a lot of people don't make it or stay in the major leagues.
All right, so give me a prime example. Skip tells you from AAA, you got called up. Make believe you're calling your loved ones, father, mother, whoever it is. What do you say? Go ahead, talk to me. All right, here. You got the news. Go ahead. Who'd you call first?
I was pretty calm. I called my mom first.
And what'd you tell her exactly?
I was like, hey, guess what? It was late, because it was, I think it was like around midnight when I found out. I was like, guess what? She's like, what? I was like, you won't believe this. She's like, I don't care. It's midnight. I was like, I got called up to the big league. She's like, what? I was like, yeah, it just happened. I just found out. And I was out with BJ that night. So
Was that BJ Upton?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's like, no way. I was like, yeah, for real. I'll be in the major leagues tomorrow. Make sure you watch the game. I don't know if I'm playing, but just watch the game. Maybe I am. And that was how that went. And then I called my boys, and you know how that conversation goes.
And they all were like nuts, right?
Yeah.
But you couldn't sleep the night before, right? You couldn't wait to get to Tampa.
No, I couldn't sleep. I didn't sleep. I think
Right.
I might have gone to sleep at 4 o'clock and probably slept an hour. I was up the whole night.
Okay, so you get to the big leagues. You got Lou Piniella as the manager at the time.
Paranoid.
Is he intimidated? Is he like?
Yeah.
So what did he tell you?
Nothing. He didn't really tell me anything. Lou doesn't really talk to rookies at all.
Really?
He doesn't say a word. He said, welcome, son. Good luck. That was it.
Just like that.
Yeah. And you're scared to talk to him. He's probably the most intimidating man I ever met in my life. I'm not lying.
Were you in the lineup that day?
Yeah. First 5 games, I played every single game against the best pitching staff in baseball that year.
Now you got hit. You got hit that game. Your first opening game was by AJ Burnett.
I got a hit?
No. He actually hit you.
No,
Hit
yeah,
by
I got
pitch.
hit.
Yeah. So did that hurt?
Of course it hurt.
What was he at 95?
My first professional at bat in when I got drafted was against our number 1 starter. I forget his name. Is it Zambrano? I forget his name.
Carlos Zambrano?
No.
Oh.
When I was with Tampa, my first professional at bat, I got hit.
I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, your first at
I got
bat.
hit
Okay.
against a major leaguer. He came first pitch, got hit. But yeah, my first, not my first at bat, but I got hit by AJ.
And when you got your first hit, what'd you do with that baseball?
I have it still.
You still have it?
I have that one and my home run.
The only one home run you hit in
My
the big
home
league.
run. Yeah. So proud of it. I had to keep those, man.
Did any coaches in the Tampa Bay organization, like when you were in the big leagues, gave you advice as far as and they hit you in the head like, yeah, you know what, that's it. You know when you're in the big leagues, something clicks and you're like, yeah, I can hang at this level. Anybody help you out with Tampa?
I've had in Tampa, yeah. I've had. I mean, when I was there, we had different regimes of people. So, I had Hindu, our hitting coach. That's who basically gave me a foundation about hitting.
Hindu, was this Henderson? Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
He gave me a foundation about hitting, and everything he pretty much taught me stuck. As far as everybody else, I mean, you listen and you take stuff in, but he's the one person at the time really gave me all the good advice. And when I got to Kansas City, Rusty Kuntz, best guy in the world.
Really?
Yeah. If you look at the game last night, he's all over the place. But yeah.
Has when you play for the Kansas City Royals, did George Brett ever come up to you and say, "Hey, Gath, come here, let me show you something how to hit"? Like, did he ever give you advice?
No, man. We talked about random stuff. George is probably the coolest guy I know.
Oh, I love that guy.
He's so laid back.
Oh my God, he's a character.
He likes to tell stories. He tells us a lot of stories in spring training. He told me one time if I ever just, because I had a great spring training, and he told me one time, he's like, man, if you just stay with what you're doing, you'll probably be one of the best players to ever play this game. And that was at the time, and that stuck. But I didn't stick to what I was doing because I didn't keep playing. So,
Right.
But it's good to get advice from people like that.
Oh, he's a legend.
Yeah.
3,000 hits. What's it like facing Mariano Rivera, man? As being a left-handed hitter, how hard was he to hit?
You know what? He never struck me out. But as far as getting a hit, impossible it seemed like. I think I'm 0 for lifetime against him.
Did he break your bat?
Did he break my bat? Let's see. I'm 0 for, let's say I'm 0 for 25. I probably broke 23 bats.
So, like, what would the pitch? Will the pitch will come and they just tail in on you?
I don't know. You're a lefty right now.
Yeah,
so
I'm a lefty. Go ahead.
The ball, it'll come out of his hand just barreling like this. So if you try to get the head out too early, you're gonna
pull
hit
it
foul.
Right?
But if you it's impossible. You have to guess right. If he throws it away, it'll come right into the barrel that you want.
And the umpire will give him two inches outside?
Of course, he's Mariano.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why wouldn't he?
Toughest lefty you face? Who was the nastiest lefty you would say, oh my God, how am I going to hit this dude?
Younger or older?
Any.
Randy Johnson.
That's 98 coming at you, man.
Yeah, and it feels like he's throwing it from right.
Exactly. He's 6'10", 60 feet away. By the time he lands that foot and throws it, it looks like it's like, what, 30 feet away now?
It feels like he's right on top of you, like his hand's right here. And he at the time I faced him, he was throwing 96, but oh well, big difference. So it was scary. It was intimidating. Just to see him on the mound was intimidating.
Now, as an outfielder, you being a center fielder, most of your career was a center field. Do you read pitches off the bat as far as like, when the catcher sets up outside, do you take a couple of steps going that way depending on the hitter? Sometimes.
If we see this catcher set up inside, we might take a step. Not too many, because if you take too many, you might miss that little blooper that you can actually get to. So you try to just stay just 1 or 2 steps and then just read the ball off the bat. That's the main goal. Because if you try to guess, that 1 or 2 step that you take where you're guessing gives the ball a chance to drop.
Now, does the second baseman or the shortstop give you signs? Like it's going to be away or like any of that stuff? No? You can see it?
Usually, day games you can see the signs in between the legs, with LASIK and contacts and stuff like that nowadays, and you can see everything.
With your blazing speed, how many times did you make a web gem as far as catching them?
How many times?
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't tell you that.
But was it a lot?
Yeah, I made a lot.
All right, so
Aaron Hill doesn't like me because of that, but.
Oh, really? All right.
That's a good story about that too.
Tell me about the Aaron Hill story.
Kansas City, Aaron Hill, to end the game. I don't know if it was to end the game, but he hit a ball. It was going out. I was in left this game, and it was out. I just jumped up, pulled it back, robbed him. Next day, same spot, his first at bat, pulled it back, robbed him again. Didn't even think anything about it. Till the end of the season, Roy Halladay sent the jersey to Tampa or to Kansas City. He had something on the back, and it was his gag gift, and he had to give it to him. Turns out that year, he missed his bonus because he had 28 home runs.
Oh, you took his cut?
I didn't know.
Oh my God!
I didn't know, and I ended up getting traded to Toronto later on, and I wore number 1, he wore number 2, and he's right next to me. He just hated. He didn't really hate me.
Right.
He didn't let me forget at all.
So if he hit 2 more home runs, he could have had at least like 500,000 more or something like that, right?
I don't know how much it was, but it was a lot. Because that was the year he signed for a lot. So his bonus, I'm pretty sure, was pretty good.
Have you ever been at a bar chilling, and next thing you know, the ESPN is on, there's a web gem, and you see yourself and people like, was that you, man? Did that ever happen? Tell me about it. Any experience about that?
Yeah, it happened a few times. In Boston, it happened. It happened a lot. Because when I played in Boston, it happened. Like Tampa, I didn't really go out as much in Tampa because everything. St. Pete is downtown. The spring training's downtown. The stadium's downtown, so it's kind of dangerous. But Yeah, I've been out before, and I'd be watching it, and somebody else would be watching, like, is that you?
Right.
Yeah, and then they just start talking.
And it's like, drinks on me. What do you want, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, right. Drinks on you.
Right. The Big Papi. When you came with the Red Sox, just a little bit, you played for them. Like, were you? What's his character like? You know, how does he welcome you as a teammate?
He's like a big teddy bear, man. He's the nicest guy in the world. Like, I love him as a person. But that's how he is. He's just a big teddy bear. He may look different on the field because that's his persona. But if you talk to him and you know him, he's the nicest guy in the world.
And
he welcomed me with open arms. He had 8 lockers in about 6 lockers.
To himself?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
6 lockers for Big Papi. And when I came in the first time in 2009, he's like, I can't say the exact words. He's like, hey, my little friend.
Right.
Won't you come on in, man? I got you a locker right here. I take care of you. You right here next to Big Papi. I said, okay, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Just like that?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
And then after that, we just cool. We hang out. You know?
Did Big Papi give you any tips on hitting or something like that?
No, I mean, we're completely different.
Yeah, I know. He's more, power. You're more of an average. But I'm just saying, did he ever say, hey, you know what? Let the ball get deep on the outside pitches or get your bat head out? No,
No, not really. The only time we really talked about hitting is when I had a crucial situation where I was coming up. And he's like, hey, Papi, just let it go. Don't worry. Just let it go. I said, okay. And I got a hit. It wasn't, in the gap, but I got a line drive.
Do you think some hitters right now in the major leagues, are they scared of failure when it comes to the big stage? When the game is on the line, do they have thoughts like, oh my God, I gotta get a hit, instead of being relaxed?
Yeah, I mean, you can watch that game last night and you can see that. I mean, a lot of guys swinging at first pitches when they really didn't have to. I mean, a lot of pitches were out of zone, and I can say that right now because I'm not in the situation, because I'm pretty sure I know I've done it.
Right.
In my younger years. But you can tell when somebody's just trying too hard instead of just relaxing. And I've seen guys go 0-2 and go from 0-2 to 2-2 and hit a home run. And then you can see guys that go up there 1-0 and then just too aggressive and they swing at that slider down the dirt instead of just relaxing and taking the pitch and getting a good pitch that you want. But it's a lot easier said than done when you're in the box.
But Joe, as far as a power hitter, let's say like back to Big Papi, on a 2-0 count, would he look for a changeup sometimes instead of a fastball?
Yeah.
Because he's like, you know what? Because usually with men on base, power hitters, they get a lot of off-speed pitches, right?
Of course. He's done it before. He's funny, man. Papi, hey, Papi, I know. Watch this. Just watch this. I get to 2-0, maybe changeup, maybe slider, maybe. I sit off speed. I swear on everything I own, he hit a bomb on a slider down and in.
On a 2-0.
2-0.
Well, down and on the lefty, you and I know it. That's like bread and butter.
I'm pretty sure he didn't mean to throw it there,
right.
But he threw him a slider. It's just, I mean, those type of hitters, guys, those elite guys, they really know what to look for in the game, and that's why they stay so long.
So you're saying hitters, when they come up to the plate, they have to look for that certain pitch they're looking for? So if you're ahead of the count, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, you want dead red fastball 2/3 of the plate.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for.
That's what you want.
That's what you want. But let's say if you don't get it, you take it?
Yeah, you would want to, yeah. But
Right.
if you go up there sitting on a changeup on a 2-0 count and you get that changeup,
You better kill
you're
it.
swinging it.
But then some guys as fans, they complain, hey, that fastball was right down the middle. How come you didn't swing? Because he wasn't looking for that.
Hey, if anybody watches, Manny Ramirez is probably, to me, he's probably top 5 hitter I've ever seen. Nobody knows this. He gets to the field at 10 o'clock when he's with Boston every day.
Wait, at a 7 o'clock game?
Yeah, every day.
10 a.m.
It doesn't matter. He's
Okay.
there.
Okay.
And he's hitting, he's working, and people don't see him on the field because he doesn't take BP on the field. He does everything in the cage. He's working all the time. Now, if you watch in a bat, you'd see Manny go 0-2 real quick, and not
Because he's
swing the bat.
aggressive.
And he's just chilling. He's waiting on some pitch, and then you'll see him go 0-2, take, ball, and then some pitcher, and they'll throw him 2 fastballs right down the middle. He'll take them, and some pitcher, and I don't know what they're thinking, will throw him a slider or an off-speed pitch that he's looking for, and he hits a bomb. Manny didn't swing at pitches often. I don't know about now, but back then, he didn't swing at pitches that he didn't want to swing at. He'd sit on a pitch, and if he didn't get it, he'd take that strikeout. There's plenty of times you can watch him just take that strike 3 and walk right back to the dugout because he sat on that pitch and waited. Now, out of 4 bats, if you get that pitch, you're going to get 2 hits, or you're going to hit the ball hard twice, and your chances of getting a hit or getting an RBI goes way up compared to just going up there swinging and not thinking.
And 90% of the pitchers in the big leagues are outside pitchers, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the coaches tell you guys, hit to the opposite field, hit to the opposite field. Now, you as a hitter, do you let the ball get deep in the zone on the outside pitches, or you try to hit out in front a little bit?
You want it to get deep. That way you can hit it harder. It all depends on, what you're trying to do and what the situation is. And that's basically it. Like if somebody's on base, you want to try to drive the ball and try to hit into a gap so that they can score from either first, second, or third. But if it's outside, you want to let it get deep. You don't want to be out in front outside. Right. But if it's inside, you want to find a way to get that head out.
When you played against the Yankees, you hit a double or you steal second. Did Jeter ever tell you something like, yo, man, what's up with you running on us?
We talked all the time, man. Every time I got to second. He's cool.
Well, what did he say to you? Like, you're on base, what did he say? Like, let's say there's a pitching change and you're on second and Jeter comes up to you, he just talks to you?
I remember the first conversation we had, I was in spring training. He's like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, it's Jeter. I was like, hey, how you doing, man? He's like, hey, you're pretty fast. I said, yeah, you're pretty awesome at everything. He's like, yeah, well, I do my best. I said, yeah, you are the best. And I was just talking because it was Derek Jeter. And that was basically it. But then that same spring training, he had his golf tournament. And his golf tournament's on the same day as his birthday. So that same conversation ended up with, hey, what are you doing after the game today? Do you want to come to my golf tournament? Do you also want to come to my birthday party? So he was that type of guy. And I ended up going because it's Derek Jeter.
Did you go?
Yeah, I went.
How was it?
It was amazing. And and the crazy thing is, he met me outside, me and my accountant at the time, and brought me in, and I met every celebrity that anybody can ever think of. And none of them really mattered to me until I met Michael Jordan. And I talked to him for a little bit, not that long, but he gave me advice on just basically staying in the big leagues and just working hard on staying there. Most of those guys at that level, they know how to do things. And me being a rookie in 2004, you learn to listen. I learned from Tino, I learned from Fred, and then to meet all of those guys that are pretty much the best at what they do. Whenever they tell you something, you have to listen.
Absolutely. I mean, having a conversation with Michael Jordan, that's no joke.
No.
When you guys go out, let's say you're with the veterans for dinner, they always pay for the tab?
Yeah, for the most part. But sometimes you see them play, yeah, for the most part. Fred McGriff, Tino Martinez, when I was a rookie, they always took me and BJ out and a couple other guys. And one time they did a little joke and they played, I forget what it's called, credit card roulette?
Roulette, yeah, Russian roulette on the credit card, yeah. And
we're just looking at each other because the tab was like $8 grand. And BJ's fine because he signed for $4 million. But at the time, I was in the big leagues, I was making good money. So I had to put my card in no matter what because they told me to. And they pulled it out. It was mine and Fred's left. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me, man. I gotta pay this tab. I'm not paying this tab. There's no way they're gonna make me pay this tab. Guess whose card got pulled out? Guess who had to pay?
How much? $8 grand. $8 grand. That hurts right there.
Into it. Fred ended up giving it back to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he gave it all back in cash too, so I was like, all right, perfect.
What are you doing now with your life? Ever since you retired, what's going on right now?
Now, man, you know what? I took a year to hang out with my son. Baseball, you travel a lot, and you really don't get a chance to see your kids. And a lot of guys continue to play, but I wanted to actually sit down and chill out. I don't know if I'm gonna keep playing. I still got the body. I still can play if I wanted to, but a year off, I think, wouldn't kill myself or kill my chances of playing again. I'm not really worried about it.
There was a movie about you. Which actor would you hire to play you? Which actor would you hire to play you?
Tay Diggs. I don't even got to think about that. Tay Diggs or Tyrese.
One of those guys.
Yeah. I think Tay Diggs is more my height. Tyrese is a little taller.
But you got to teach him how to hit.
I think Tyrese is kind of an athlete, so I think he'd be all right.
Well, that should do it. That's my man Joey Gathright on Where Are They Now in Sports. So nice catching up to you, my man.
You too, bro.
All right. Thank you so much.